y'all. Welcome back to this podcast. Let's bring life back to me. Let's talk. Let's shoot the shit. And I've already cussed. It's 4:38 p.m. on Tuesday, January 14th. I just cracked open an original Coca-Cola, and I should have done an ASMR for you. The second after I did it, I thought about that. I was thinking about you all. I was thinking, man, wouldn't they just love that sound and the little crickle cackle? Oh, I'd be really surprised if you were able to hear that. I don't think you were. Maybe you were. I don't know. I'm not going to say I will because don't know, and I kind of don't want to keep that promise, but if I will listen to this before I load it, but I kind of retract that. I don't want to be held to that promise. After, maybe I will. I did listen to the last one, and I kind of liked it, so what does that say about me? Can someone diagnose me or give me their thoughts in the comments? Okay, so I love you all, and like I said, I'm spending more time doing this for my sanity and for other people. That is part of my why. And so, yeah, I'm here. In case people don't know, I don't love writing notes of, like, what to talk about. I feel like that just ruins the flow, and that's, like, not what I want to do for this podcast. Maybe for a different podcast, but for this podcast, I really just want to, like, give an authentic snapshot of how I am at that time. So that's what I'm doing. I keep seeing a tree, like, wiggle, dangle, and I'm like, is that a person walking? Do other people, like, see things and you're like, that's the spirit? Or that, like, I see it all the time. And I think they are spirits sometimes. I'm glad I kind of look tan in this lighting because, like, honestly, I feel like I was getting sad because my tan was going away. And I, like, thought for a second. Not that I wanted to go to get a spray tan or get a tanning bed, but because it's like I don't want to do that to my body, but it's like, what else am I supposed to do? Can you get tan when there's snow out and it's winter? That deserves a Google. And I kind of don't want to take the time to do it right now. I have a left ear ringing in my left ear, and I think I'm going to take that as a good sign. That's a good sign. I feel like, can you be delusionally optimistic? Because I was about to say, can you see everything as a good sign? And I have definitely said that in almost every single one of my podcasts. So, yeah. I mean, even if it kind of is like a warning thing, I think the change can lead to good. Listen back to my old podcast if you want to know more about that. I don't think it was, like, one of the reasons. Actually, maybe. I think it was one of the reasons. Maybe not the main reason, but I am about to go, actually kind of soon. I'll try not to be late this time. Well, it's my first time going to, sorry, that clap was loud. Going to my digital storytelling class I told y'all about. I'm about to go for the first time. It's like from 6 to 8 p.m. on Tuesday, so that's interesting. I don't think I've ever had a late night class. And it's not even that late. I really want to Google if there's an astronomy class here. I was talking about that with someone yesterday. Digressing, my teachers mentioned something about, like, if I'd be willing, I don't know if I mentioned it last time, willing to, like, talk about my podcast or, like, mention it, so maybe that's why I kind of listened to it to be like, what did I talk about? Yeah, that was pretty much it. And I think it was alright. I mean, yeah. That's what, I'm pretty open person and, like, a good person where I'm, like, kind of not worried about whatever I'm gonna say because, like, I know who I am deep down and I know I'm a good person. Like, I don't mean ill intentions on anyone. So, that's, like, I'm kind of not, like, worried about whatever I'm gonna say. Okay, I'm getting better at storytelling, so I'm going to go back to what I mentioned before. I had my Ted Lasso class yesterday, and it was in the same class room as my old Chinese class. So I was like, okay, I want to sit in the middle because it's like, well, it's like a box, and the teacher stands, like, at the front, but people literally have their back to her, and she could, like, see on the screen. Not that I'm doing anything on my screen, but if I do want to do chess or mahjong, it's nice that I have the option. I like knowing I can do things and then kind of, like, not doing it. Like, Augustus Waters, Fault in Our Stars. You put the thing that does the killing right between your teeth, but you don't let it kill you. I may have butchered that, but, I think about that a lot. Never done a cigarette. Oh my gosh, I mentioned that last time. I don't think I'm better than you, by the way. If you think you do. If you think I'm better than you, you're wrong. Oh, but okay. I want it to be, like, in the back middle. And that's what I did. And someone was sitting next to me, and we kind of, like, hit it off right away. And it was cool. I may want to look up her name again just so I don't get it wrong. But also, I could just ask her. I could just be honest and not be weird about it. Sometimes I take, like, I could be thinking too much about relationships of any kind. And, like, let that take over my energy. Okay, one thing I am proud about. That's what there was something I want to mention about the Ted Lasso class. Just the teacher was so, like, it was so funny. Like, she is funny, but she's, like, so, she was, like, acting serious and, like, talking so fast. Or she just, like, a little monotone, talked fast, and I was just kind of, like, amazed. I'm like, it was just funny. Like, I had no expectations, and I feel like I was laughing a lot of times when other people weren't laughing. It's one of those things, and it's, like, a class of, like, all freshmen, pretty sure, and it's, like, mainly guys. I was surprised. Okay, see how good I'm getting? I'm bringing up the thing I started to mention before I said that. One thing I'm proud of myself for is this old friend DM'd me, and if you're listening, like, I love you, like, I do. I love everyone, but, like, we have gone through times together, and she DM'd me. I haven't clicked on the DM, but I could just tell through my intuition and kind of what the start was, what she may have been asking me, like, history-wise, too. Like, it's this time of the year. It's her birthday, so I'm assuming you were gonna ask me for your birthday. And you know what they say about assuming, you make an ass out of you and me. That's how it goes, right? So I'm proud of myself for not clicking and not answering, and I don't feel bad about it. And that kind of sounds like I'm trying to convince myself that I don't feel bad about it when I do, which may have some truth to it, but I really don't, because I feel like I should have, last time was definitely, like, a lesson learned. It's like, oh my gosh, like, I learned so many lessons that night and weeks after. Weeks post. How do I say that better? Can I get a thumbnail? I also had an idea right before this. I should put clips from this on my main channel, because I feel like that's where I got a lot of my subscribers on my main channel, was probably for this podcast, and then I just kind of, like, dropped it, and there may be like, what are you doing? Even though I posted on the community tab, but like, I don't know. So I just thought that was a good idea. And I did write in my to-do list. My to-do list is so long. It's so random. A lot of it is like, watch this movie, watch this TV show, buy this. That's pretty much it. I did something else that kind of, like, I had to encourage myself a little bit to do. For my Ted Lasso class, I'm supposed to, like, interview someone. Basically just ask a few questions, and y'all, this was really hard for me. I'm kidding. That's very sarcastic, but I just sent a message into my Chinese group me, like, asking if anyone would help me. It's really hard for me to ask for help. So yeah, and someone answered. So that is my encouragement. That's my tip. That's my example. To just ask for help. There's no shame in doing that. Absolutely no shame. We should all have a balance of asking for help and not asking for help. Like, being independent. Yeah. Not dependent on anyone. Independent. What do they say in, like, developmental psychology for, like, kids? Like, interdependent? I think that's right. Yeah, I've taken psychology classes. I kind of love this character I'm doing. I'm having fun, and I feel like I'm getting better at this. If anyone ever does, like, an in-depth, like, research on me, like, from the beginning of posting videos to now, that would be interesting. And, like, the psychological growth and development, or just the differences between it. If we did this from, like, birth, or even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, like, before I made videos, like, maybe I need to interview someone in my life and ask them. Even though, like, it would just be from their point of view. And I don't feel like I have. I get distracted because the car that's driving by reminded me of my ex. If you're listening to this. I don't assume everyone listens, by the way. But just in case you are. I think about you a lot. I feel like I've said that before. If you don't know who I'm talking about, and you can definitely see the difference from when I met him and when we broke up. I made podcast episodes about this. The first one's called I Met Someone. First of all, it has one of the most views on Spotify. Is that how it is? Downloads, clicks, Spotify. One of those on Spotify, and the second one's like, I broke up with someone for the first time. It makes me laugh. But that car reminded me of him. I get a lot of signs from cars. I don't know if I said that before on the podcast. And I don't know what I say most of the time. I feel like that wasn't a great angle. Y'all, what's my good side? Can someone let me know? And I might not agree with you, so I just like input. But I also am kind of. Am I scared of it? Yeah, I mean, not from videos, really. But I don't know. Sometimes when I see a comment, or I see a long comment, or like even like a teacher and they leave a comment or something, like, I just had 2 burps. Excuse me. They were inside, so I don't think it was technically a burp if I held it inside. I feel like I definitely have talked about that on the podcast, and I'm sorry I keep, like, well, I'm not really sorry, but, I do. I'm like, have I talked about that? Have I talked about that? Like, who cares? I guess I do. A little bit. this comments, like, it does, like, I think I have gotten a lot better with it and acceptance of it. Used to be terrified of it. Did not want to be seen. Like, I feel like I've talked about this before. Sorry. Not sorry. Move on. In tropical astrology, I have a Leo moon, which, in my research, and I feel it to be true, compared to a Leo sun, which is more your ego, your moon is more of your emotions. So Leo moon, they more so need attention, or need to be seen. They don't necessarily want to be seen. And that, of course, like, you have to not contribute, not introduce, like, take that into account with everything else in your chart, which is abundant. Compared to a Leo sun, where they do want to be seen. They don't necessarily need it. I could be wrong. I really just, like, I try to pay attention to me because, like I said in the beginning, I can be get obsessed with other people and forget about me and not focus on me at all. And then I get fat and ugly and I'm just saying that, but it's like, don't be like, oh, she needs help. Like, I'm over exaggerating in the sense where, like, I will stop, like, taking care of myself. That is the goal for this year and my life. Talking more about astrology, I bet if you didn't know, this is part of astrology podcast. My south node's in the 7th house and my north node's in my 1st house. I think that's in between sidereal and tropical, it's like that. Or whole sign and Placidus. Let's breathe through my nose. Oh my gosh. Sorry, just clouds. That car is another one of my exes, and then a truck just drove by, which is another one of my exes. And you probably think, if you did the math, that's 3, and that's all I've ever had of exes. So, no more should remind me of anyone else. But, yeah. I'm liking this. This makes me feel better. Thank you all. Thank you. My hand was hurting because I've been working on this, like, printmaking thing, and it actually does really look kind of cool. Let me show you. I think I'm kind of, like, impressed with myself. We'll see what it looks like. I kind of messed up. Like, we're supposed to be carving the things you don't want to pop up. The amount of times I've had to Google that and, like, kind of make sure is a lot. And I feel like I definitely messed up here. I don't know if I have anywhere else. And yeah, I have other places. But we'll see. I'm abstract, so that kind of means I could do whatever I want. I'm kidding. Yeah. That's what I was debating, if I wanted to show you all, because I would have had to got up. And I didn't get it before, but whatever. You all know what this reminds me of if you were just watching. I think someone gave it to me. You know what? I think at Scapa, I was a dance major. This is this old school I went to, 4th grade through 9th grade. I think we did like a Chinese dance, and I feel like whoever came and taught that maybe gave it to us. And I got this one, like they all looked different. It's like beads. And I clipped like a USB to it. My USBs during my Scappa and high school years to it. Sorry if that made a weird noise. These sparkly ones, and I feel like I bought these. Who knows what's on it, like old stuff. Do you ever like look at like old essays? I do like saving stuff, if you don't know about that. Like I'm currently have like a scrapbooking section in my room, and for my kids, because I love looking at old people's stuff. It's the cancer in me. This is the place where I feel safe to say this, by the way. And I think that's also why I kind of mentioned the girl next to me in the Ted Lasso class. It got brought up that we both like space. I think she may have mentioned it. And then I asked after a while, like, if she liked astrology. And then she brought up, like, she doesn't know that much about it, but she, like, reads the horoscopes in the Transy newspaper. I'm like, oh, I didn't know they had that. And also, like, that's not really astrology. That's, like, random people writing stuff. It was more funny and charming in person, as you can imagine. But, yeah. Y'all, I love Roy Kent. If you've ever seen Ted Lasso, and if you haven't, he's just really straightforward and honest. And that's just, it's really sexy in a man. Just saying. And anyone. It's really sexy in anyone, honestly. Both women and men and anyone. It really is. Yeah. So my class is at 6. I just turned 5. I feel like people are coming into the class. So that's cool. I have never really, like, met these teachers. Like, formally. I met them on Zoom. Zoom, you don't get my full vibe on it. Like, telling y'all. I've said it before, but you really don't. So yeah. Oh, I also wanted to say, okay, so after today I've met all my teachers in all my classes. I haven't been wearing my necklace. By the way, if you've listened, like, I did break my necklace once again. I've broken it so many times. It's just like what's it, like, I don't know what it's made out of. That doesn't really matter, but it's like a chain. That's what it is. It's like a thin chain. And it has broken so many times, like, mainly from, I feel like one time I pulled on it, like, putting on a shirt or something. I feel like other people have broken it. My sister's dog, Archie, has broken it several times. I didn't tell anyone the last time. I don't like to bother people. Like, what was that gonna change? So someone was like, tell them. I'm like, what's that gonna do? They're not gonna pay for it. But my mom got me a new chain instead of fixing my old one. So if this one breaks, I would just go fix. That's kind of a cool old Land Rover. Oh, main point though. I want to put on my necklace again and see how that changes things. Like my theories, my hair theory, jewelry theory. Oh, and I haven't worn any makeup. Really. I haven't worn my hair down either, which I want to do the jewelry. I don't necessarily want, for printmaking, I may, like, be getting the oils out. So I don't want to get that on there, but I'll let y'all know how it goes. Like, I don't know, we'll see. Like, last minute, I kind of just, like, scramble and do whatever I'm feeling. If you couldn't tell, I'm very feely. Feel it out. I do. That's pretty much it. Very Cancer, very 12th house. Oh, yeah, that girl was like, can you guess what I am? And I'm like, I don't like this. I'm like, I just met you and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, you seem nice, but, like, I don't know. She did seem cool. I feel like I keep pausing. Please, if anyone actually listens to this, like, and if, like, I'm one of those people that, like, I have started commenting in the most recent years because I've become more comfortable with myself, putting myself out there, community, friendship, love. Oh my gosh, there's an old Land Cruiser. My old car. If you didn't know, my whole family, my dad got it from, like, a company, and then all my siblings drove it. I was the last one to drive it. That was, like, my first wreck within a week. It wasn't really wreck. I demolished this small car pulling into a parking lot for my coding class. I feel like I've told the story, and I feel like my first vlog, I'm, like, it wasn't really, it was just, like, me sitting down and kind of, like, talking, so that is a vlog, but I'm like, okay, first wreck, because I'm like, they're all stories, so maybe I could do that for one of these podcasts in this digital storytelling class, all my wrecks, if I remember them. I'm just kidding. But it was an old white Land Cruiser. Brother called it White Lightning. I kind of like that name. And then, why did I stop driving? Oh, I think, did my mom need it for an employee, or, I'm not very sure, but my mom was going to use it as a car in Florida, and it was there, and then the hurricane kind of took it, and all of a sudden it died, just like my dad. All of a sudden, boop. I'm like, you're not even, like, what happened? And this is why I am the way I am. So, yeah, that's also another story. I don't know why. Like, every time should I be like, if this is the first time you're listening to this, like, reintroduce myself? Like, someone gave me advice about that, or tried to give me advice. Baby's barking at the FedEx guy. That's my dog, not my child barking. That'd be funny. Yeah. Another thing I wanted to, last night was kind of like a busy night, so I feel like that's also, like, I went to bed without showering, and I like to shower to wash the day off, wash all the energy off, and I didn't because I was so tired. I didn't push myself, and I feel like it messed me up for this morning. But then I did Zumba with my mom this morning because I, like, woke up and then my phone was dead next to me, and then I saw my laptop was next to me and, like, on my bed, and I checked the time, it was like 6 something, and then I was kind of just, like, up from then, and then Mom and I were I was telling her I don't like working out, like, at 7 a.m., but then I did today because I was up already, because I didn't wash the day off from ahead of me, and it was fun. But then, I've been in a different state of mind, energy, because of this, mood, all the things. But it's been a good day, like, not a bad day. It's just, like, then I showered, like, I was, like, working out, because I really am trying to work on that. then showered. I like blow dried my hair. I haven't blow dried my hair in like forever. Like, I guess since I left for Florida. Like, I haven't. Or before I have left for Florida. So I did that. Haven't done that in a while. And yeah, I sent that. It stopped recording. I sent that group me message. Working on the printmaking thing, my fingers been like hurting. I've been trying to take breaks and not be so obsessive with it, and then like cramp and hurt. Like, been doing good with that. And then I literally decided, because I kind of had in my idea brain that Tuesdays, like during the day, would be a good day to record podcasts because I don't have a class until like 6 p.m. So, but then I like kind of wasn't in the mood to like talk and do the podcast. And I'm gonna keep it in my brain, like, if I ever feel like not doing it, maybe that's a sign I should do it. Or maybe that's just a sign like I'm not feeling good. And these really always make me feel better. Something else that like okay, I'm gonna prepare you all for this first world problem. It's really like, how do I make this sarcastic? Y'all, this is the worst thing in the world, and I don't know if I'm ever gonna make it out from this. Okay, I don't want you all to think like I'm serious about this, but oh my gosh, that was the weirdest looking. Oh, okay, it's just a leaf. I'm like, that's the weirdest looking animal. The spirit. I realized like 10 minutes before this, I don't even know, that like I don't think I have any classes on Thursdays, and that's where my cleaning lady comes every other week. And I like to get out of her way because I'm so courteous and thoughtful, and this kind of just makes me sound like a brat, and it's really not a big deal, and I wish it didn't, like, I didn't even say it's like a problem, but something, because I do like to get out of her way. I don't like being here when she's nice. I like talking to her. She really likes, or like, I do like talking. I don't know if she likes talking to me, but I like talking to anyone, so like that's where I'm coming from. But I do like getting out of her way. Like, I don't want to really be in my room. I used to, like, when she would come, like, just stay in my room and she'd clean everything else in the house besides my room. But then it's like, what's the point? Like, don't I want to clean my room? Or, like, I would do it myself. I don't know. That smells down bad. So I don't know what I'm gonna do on Thursday mornings. That's why she comes early too. Like, when it gets warmer, like, I like going to the cemetery. That's what I feel like. If I left, like, I would want to bring baby, and that limits things a little bit. I don't know. I feel like it would be easier if she came on a Wednesday. But that's just a me thing. I'm gonna come back from this and stronger and healthier and more community oriented and all the good things. It's all good. I love you all so much, and wasn't sure how I was gonna make that funny. And I don't even think, did that come off as funny at all? Please be honest with me. And I will probably laugh. I was trying to think if it would hurt my feelings, but like, why would that hurt my feelings? I don't think it would. Because I realized, I mean, that's like, I don't know. I'm not worried about you judging me because I know who I am. The FedEx guy and the UPS guy are like looking at each other. And baby's going crazy at the door. Okay, I love you all so much. And yeah, I guess I do feel a little weird about people thinking I'm like a spoiled brat because I really hate that. And do I hate it because I kind of relate to it? I mean, I obviously maybe kind of... How do I do this? It stems from like a Knowles thing, but also I feel like when I was younger and just misunderstood and like didn't communicate very well, people would call me that, mainly just people in my family, but also other people. That's what that was in with the Knowles thing. It's like people that don't really know me and then they hear me say something like that and they're like, oh, like she's a spoiled brat, and then that's like their impression of me, and it's like I hate that. That is also why I feel like I got kind of that vibe from my ceramics teacher. And if I'm wrong, let me know. Don't know if you listen to this. You could. I have no idea, but I feel like I did you may have thought that about me from some comments you have made, so I have some stuff to back it up. Can you all hear the barking in the back? But I'm not here to defend. Like, you can think whatever you think. I'm glad I got that off my chest before I ended. Like, please think whatever you think, but I'm not gonna take it out because I'm honest and authentic and everything. I just thought, I really was kind of like bummed when 10 minutes before this, I'm like, wait, I don't think I have any classes on Thursdays, and that's when she comes, like, I was a little bummed. Oh, there's a dog. I think I saw that dog earlier. So I'm being honest. It's just funny that is something I'm bummed about. Like, I'm so lucky to be living this life. I should have said that 5 minutes ago. Okay, I love you all. And I'm so grateful for you all. And I hope you all are doing really great. And if I'm going to give a tip or any piece of advice or enlightenment thing at the end of this, like, figure out, if you don't know what you're passionate about, try to figure that out. Google, like, how to figure out what you're passionate about. I do that, and use Google as a resource, and do more of it. If you do know what you're passionate about, do more of it. And don't be fearful of it. And you may not relate to that, but if you do, like, you may, like, some people are so, like, when people are so naturally kind of, like, comfortable being themselves and doing what they want, like, I find that so admirable and sexy, like I said earlier. But just do more of it and try to help other people, like, community-wise with it. Yeah. Okay, I love you all. Bye.